Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the North Chat. Spirits are a little bit down today, but I am your host, Santosh. I'm with my co host, Aiden, and again, we have our special guest, RD, Raptors District.
Was
Um,
good, was good,
what's good, man?
was up.
Like I said, man, spirits are low. The Cavs and the Raptors just played in Cleveland, game two of the NBA playoffs in the first round. And I believe the final score was 105 to 115 as the Cavaliers go up 2-0 in the series. Before we go into it, just brief thoughts. I'll ask you guys how you guys are feeling, how you guys, felt about the game. Not like too in depth. We'll obviously go into that. But Aiden, man, how did you feel about that game, man?
Kind of feeling the way I expected to after those first two games, bro. Because I wasn't really, I don't know, I didn't really have high hopes, especially after the first game. Like the first game brought my confidence down a lot. Um, like I said, I didn't have high expectations, but like it's just, it's another level of disappointing. Um, watching an 82 game season, seeing your team get into the playoffs for the first time in, I don't know, what was it, 4 years, three
Yep,
years,
4 years, 4
4 years.
years.
Yeah, it's a different level of disappointment because last time we made the playoffs, we go down 0-2 early in the series, and we end up losing that one. So
I'm pretty sure
um,
it was '03. We went down '03.
it was 0-3, yeah, and then we made it a little interesting, but it's just kind of disappointing. Even not having high expectations, somehow I'm still sitting here feeling a little disappointed.
Yeah, no, look, we'll get into it, but again, RD, let's just hear your thoughts again, and then we'll kind of dive deeper into it.
Yeah, man, it feels like we really need quickly to come back and play, bro. Like, I know some fans don't like quickly, but
Psh, I'm one of them, man.
however many turnovers are we like 20 in 2 games, 20 turnovers in each game,
I can give
over
you.
20.
Hold on. Today we had 22 turnovers today only. So
How much do we have game one? 18? Something
game
close to that.
one, let me give you recap for game one. Game one, I believe we had 17. So in total, what is that? 39.
Wow, 39 turnovers. Holy
39 in
shit.
2 games. Yeah.
Like I love Jamal Shad. I'm a big Jamal Shad guy, but like
Look, man.
playing big minutes in your first playoff. Like
I
we
mean,
need
he,
someone
we
who's a bit more experienced. Like Quickly's been in the playoffs with the Nets before, and I'm just kind of surprised that he's not playing because he played that Nets game at the end of the season.
Yeah,
he has a
I was about to
hamstring
say
issue. So
he re-injured the hamstring in that Nets game, I guess.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
But
I
look,
was
man.
surprised. I didn't know he was on the injury report till like a day before the game.
And honestly, bro, if I'm gonna be honest, when I looked at that starting lineup for game one, I wasn't mad at Shed starting because as much as quickly is gonna give you that like productive on ball like point guard play, he's gonna protect the ball obviously. He just doesn't offer you what you need during each game state. Like he'll get you like that. Like in the season, I think he averaged like around 17 points. But if you actually watch those games, a lot of those points are coming in moments that you just don't need them.
Yeah, it was like
And
some empty stats.
yeah,
Transition, yeah, but the transition, we're first in the league in transition. He adds a lot to that.
yeah, but like even still, like I don't know, man. I like we'll dive into like each player and the player performance and stuff like that. But to start off, I just want to talk to you guys about the fourth quarter specifically. What did you guys like? What did you guys not like? What did you think we ought to do better? RD, I'll let you start it off this time.
Fourth quarter. In game one, I thought the fourth quarter was actually pretty good in game one. We outscored them by 8 points. I mean, it was a blowout anyways, but the fourth quarter is like we don't really have someone who can close the gap. Like Ingram was that guy in the regular season for most of it, but he's just been kind of a disappearing act so far.
Yeah,
He shot terrible today on shots that he usually makes,
yeah.
so I think he will bounce back.
Yeah, no, we'll
But
we'll, we'll dive deeper into that. But Aiden, you want to kind of give your thoughts, and then I'll kind of say what I think as well.
Yeah. I thought the fourth quarter today was really good, honestly. I thought, like RD was saying, the game one it was already kind of a blowout, so can't really take too much out of that. But um, today I really liked the aggression from Scotty. I still like I have been the past like 3 or 4 years now, still find myself wondering where this is all game. Because it feels like he really starts to pick up on you know, his aggression later in games.
Yeah. I mean, like that just feels like the kind of player he is, right? Like just when you need him most, he probably will try his hardest. But again, it's the playoffs. You need that all four quarters. You need that exclude like especially to start the game off. You need to set the tone early, which I just think we didn't do. We can kind of dive into the player performances as well. I want to kind of start off with Brandon Ingram because he went 3 for 15 in 36 minutes. He had 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, and minus 15 plus minus. So one of our worst players statistically today. And look, we're paying him 40 million, man. He has a player option this season, I believe, for another 40 million for next season. It's just not good enough, bro. And like, look, we paid him. We brought him in last season through trade. He was injured to end the season. We had big expectations for him this season, and I mean, some can say he delivered. He was an All-Star this year. He averaged, I think, he was like the highest on the team in points averaged. But you bring a player like that for 40 million while you're paying everyone else that much money to give you moments in the playoffs. And I know it's 2 games. I know it's, people can have a rough game, rough start to a series, but like, bro, the shots he was taking, they just weren't like for me. They weren't good enough. Of course, there's shots that he usually takes, but the reason they weren't good enough for me is because, especially in the first and second quarter, he was just dribbling the ball. They were sending the double, and he wasn't reading the defense quick enough. He wasn't reading it quick enough. He wasn't moving the ball out of his hands, and he was just chucking up shots or turning the ball over, which is part reason why he had 5 turnovers and led the team in turnovers as well. So I think one of the biggest. I don't want to play the blame game. Obviously, it's a team game, but paying him $40 million, you expect a little bit of a better performance, especially against a team like Cleveland, who's not the best. So that's where I stand on it.
I mean, you're
Yeah,
getting locked up by Dean Wade all game.
Yeah,
Not
Dean
known for
Wade, bro.
being
Dean Wade, bro.
defensive
Keon
player, but
Ellis,
anything.
like I don't know, these guys should not be good enough to. I mean, if you're Brandon Ingram, you should look at this as you know an easier matchup because they're not throwing like these great defensive wings at you. They're throwing guys like Dean Wade
Dean Wade.
and
Yeah.
Jalen Tyson got them
Oh
guys
my God.
this week.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he plays with a lot of heart. He's got a lot of hustle. But if you're Brandon Ingram, man, you're the number one option on this team. You cannot back down from that short of a challenge, man. Because
Yeah.
this is just. I mean, it's very like his game is very predictable. I'd say. He's obviously here to shoot a ton of mid-range shots and I've never been a huge fan of the mid-range shot in general, especially in with it kind of dying out today in this era. But no, man. I mean, I just think that if you're not hitting those efficiently, I mean, that's literally your game. If you're not hitting those efficiently, you're kind of leaving everything out on the floor.
Mm. Yeah. No.
Yeah, it
Like.
gives you really like DeMar DeRozan flashbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Before
down
before
10, couple
RD,
mid-range
before
shots
before you
doesn't do
kind
much.
of before you talk about it, I just want to say another thing. Like in this league today, we were talking about this a little bit earlier in the season when he was, hitting those mid rangers, especially early in the season during that stretch where he won, what I think like 14, 15 games. Um, like we were talking about, to be successful in this league while being as your primary shot is the mid range, you have to hit it at such a high level
yeah,
that it's only two. You have to be a part of like an elite group in the league to be able to
absolutely.
make money and be a good player in this league if you want to prioritize a mid-range shot. And look, Brandon Ingram, obviously in the season he was. And again, it's one game, but if we don't see improvement, then that's just it. Kind of shows his character, and I don't know if that's a player that we want to continue with in the future. You know what I mean? So,
He's
Yeah,
not.
um,
He's not.
future Giannis
He's not.
trade asset right there. Giannis
yeah,
coming.
Yeah, right.
Future
that I
trade
don't know
asset.
about that, man.
Ingram's not a strong enough inside player in a series like this against bigs like Mobley and Jared Allen.
Oh,
Like
100%.
it's going to
Yeah,
take away any of his driving ability.
yeah, yeah. No, I've talked a lot about Ingram, obviously. On the brighter side, I want to highlight some players as well. Obviously, you have the main guys like Scotty who put up 26 on 19 shots, 11 for 19. You have
He
RJ.
carried the whole defense. He carried the whole
Yeah,
defense.
yeah. You have
Did not sit down at all.
RJ had a pretty good game as well. He scored 22, 10 for 13. But a couple of the other guys that I wanted to highlight were the young guys. Colin Murray Boyles, he had 17 points, 6 for 10 shooting. And Jacoby Walter, he had 14, 5 for 9. And before the series started, especially in our predictions, I think we talked about it when we were talking about the Raptors.
Yeah.
Those two are the main guys that I'm looking at to see what they can bring to the team, especially as bench players, players that are not guaranteed starters. Of course, today they were, because, some other players weren't playing as good. But like, what did you guys make of their performances, and how do you think they can improve the team in the future?
Mm.
Yeah, they should just start CMB from the gate,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree
the,
as well.
the team play. Wait, to go back to that Brandon Ingram thing, when he sat in like the third quarter, came back in the fourth, the Raptors were able to cut it to 6 points in that
Mm,
stretch where he was on the bench.
yeah, and look, he had a
So
negative 15 plus minus. So I mean, it
yeah,
makes
like
sense. Second highest on the team.
I know Darko's not man enough to bench him for the rest of the game,
Yeah.
but
And
just put it.
I think a huge reason for making that little run in the fourth, um, like obviously other than Scotty being amazing on the defensive end, I loved what I saw from Jacoby Walter as a primary
Yeah,
Oh
defender.
for
my
sure.
God, man,
He
he is developing into one of my favorite players in the league. Like,
like
if not already,
legitimately like it's so funny because there were so many times, especially in game one, but in this game too, where you find Donovan Mitchell guarded by Jamal Shed, and you just know that that's light work from Mitchell every time.
Yeah.
Shed, he's a decent defender for his size, but like there's nothing he can do against a guy like Mitchell. Once I saw Jacoby Walter on Mitchell and Harden, like I was really starting to
You
feel
feel
better
safe, bro.
about.
You feel safe.
You feel safer in
You
every
feel
possession.
safe, man.
But that's what Cleveland. That's why Cleveland goes to that. They're smart because they screen for Harden and Mitchell to get Shed guarding one of the two, and that's another thing about like Shed and Emmanuel quickly, like having these undersized guards. It's a very scary thing in a series against two guys in the backcourt who can facilitate, who can score at all levels. Like Mitchell and Harden, I don't think I gave them enough credit as just like an incredible offensive duo as I did
Yeah.
coming into the series.
Yeah.
Like they
Mitchell.
obviously we can say all we can about them not showing up in the playoffs, but man, that is a scary duo.
Yeah, Mitchell. I'll just highlight
They're
their
hitting
stats as
crazy
well.
for us.
Oh yeah, 100%. But Mitchell had 30 points on 23 shots. James Harden, this was one of, he's obviously their X factor. He had 28 points on 9 for 14.
Yeah, another
Um,
good.
Great
How
game.
many
And
assisted
then
Harden, huh?
Harden had, I believe, 4 assists. Yeah, 4 assists for Harden, 5 rebounds.
Yeah, he
That's
didn't need to
surprising.
do as much as a
And
playmaker this
no,
game. He
no,
was really taking
100%.
advantage as a scorer.
But look, the biggest stat for Harden that's gonna shock you guys. He had 5 steals. Five
Yeah,
steals for James Harden, man. He
yeah.
also had 5 turnovers, but come on, bro. As a point guard, 5 turnovers, it's not great, but like 5 steals,
Five
28
steals, and
points.
that's got a lot to do with the Raptors turning the ball over.
Yeah. And yeah, so him and Donovan carried the team offensively. Evan Mobley also had 25 points on 11 for 13 shooting,
Oh yeah,
and then
yeah,
the guy with their highest plus minus, Jared Allen. Jared Allen,
yeah.
he had listen to this. Jared Allen played 25 minutes. He had 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist only, but he had a plus 18 plus minus, which just
I
shows you
Yeah.
mean,
like
yeah,
it's the
they
issues with
couldn't.
the Raptors in the big department, man. That's been the issue whole season.
Yeah, does
Uh,
anyone want to talk about how useless Jakob is yet, or
yeah, nine minutes tonight, 2 points. Didn't
nine
really see the
minutes?
floor. Basically ran a 7-man rotation after the first quarter.
Brutal.
Look, we've been saying this ever since the deadline when we didn't bring anyone except Trace Jackson Davis.
Yep.
You needed bigs, bro. Like a big I highlighted was Daron Sharp and Nick Richards. Like those two are guys that can crash the glass, get you rebounds. Just play scrappy, in my opinion.
That's true.
But look,
But
we just don't have it. So
CMB did a great job, being that
yeah,
starting. He basically was the starting center
yeah.
tonight.
I think from now on, I think he's got that kind of he's got the role in the bag for now.
Well, I mean,
But
you pay Jakob that much money, you're kind of
oh
stuck with
yeah.
them.
RJ Barrett had 9 rebounds. He was our leading rebounder today, which is crazy. Um, But yeah, like moving on from we talked about player performances for Raptors, Cavs, stuff like that. What are your expectations for when the series heads to Toronto? We got 2 games coming up, 2 games at home. Where do you see us being there?
I think we're winning both, to be honest with you.
Think we're winning both? I
Wow.
don't
I think
know,
we're
man.
winning both.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
one way
know,
to
bro.
Think
start.
about it. Okay, okay, game one was a wash, but this game, it seemed
A
like
lot better.
he kind of knows what he's doing with his rotations now.
I mean, listen, bro. If you need 2 games to figure out what your rotation is going to be for the series, like I don't think that's a good sign. You know what I mean? And of course, we're gonna have conversations about Darko, especially as the season comes to an end, which it looks like it's going to soon. But like, I don't know. I think next 2 games is gonna be a little bit of a
There's no way they posted his career high in post. Why would they post it?
oh.
Raptors social media
Raptors,
posting.
yeah.
Just don't post, bro. Don't post.
Well,
He played a great
Santosh,
game, but like, don't post, bro.
Yeah.
Santosh, I'm gonna continue with. I'm gonna answer your question first. I think that. Well, obviously, my expectations for this entire series weren't amazing.
Mm.
But I actually do think they're gonna come out a lot better in Game 3. I just think
Okay.
to change the atmosphere. I hope Toronto is in. I hope the crowd
We
is
need to
really
be, man. We need to be.
into because if they're not showing the energy for this team, I don't know who is going to bring the energy other than the crowd. I mean, the crowd is literally like a six man in these.
We need a
The
sixth
play
man, bro. We need the
the
sixth
playoff
man because we
crowd.
clearly
Might
aren't
as
good
well
enough.
be the crowd, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think Game 3 we're gonna come out a lot better. I don't want to just straight up say like if I think we're gonna win or lose, but I
Yeah.
do expect it to be a lot closer the whole way through. I don't think Cleveland's ever gonna be up like 13 in like the second half like they were
Yeah.
in today. But
I
no,
think they're
I
gonna
think
be two very close wins, like 5 point wins.
I you
We
know
can
I
look. We
I
can take that
I
because
see it to believe it, man.
no. Listen. I'm gonna kind of go back to game 2 today. Um, in the first quarter, we lost 19-26, which is a 7 point deficit. But that's basically what lost us the game. Like throughout the regular season, a theme we noticed was we weren't getting much fourth quarter scoring. But today was kind of the opposite, right?
Yeah.
First quarter, we scored 19. They scored 26. Second quarter, 29-28, close quarter. Third quarter, 29-30, another close quarter. And then fourth quarter, 28-31 for them. So basically, it like we won well, I guess we only won 1 quarter, but we kept quarters 2, 3, and 4
Yeah,
very
they
close.
they needed to win that third quarter.
Yeah,
If they didn't start it off so badly, like the same thing happened in game one, but if they didn't start off the third quarter that badly, we would have been talking about a much closer game in the fourth.
yeah, and yeah, no, in the first quarter with 19-26, I think it should have been a lot bigger lead for Cleveland because we had
Yeah,
I think
felt
eight
like
or
one.
nine
It felt like a
turnovers.
bigger.
Yeah, 8 or 9 turnovers, and they just couldn't convert on the turnover points. And in the first quarter, the starters were just stinking it up. I think we had like 20, 25 bench points in the first quarter alone. Or nah, no, it wasn't that crazy. I think like it was like 15 or 16 in the first quarter, and then halfway through the
Still a
second quarter,
lot.
it was
Yeah.
like 21 or 22 or something like that. But heavy reliance on the bench, which I mean that's kind of what the Raptors have kind of always been known for.
The bench mob.
Yeah, bench
Yeah.
mob, but
Back
I
to
don't
the
know.
Did like the
2018
bench
days.
mob.
Brad and
Yeah,
Siakam off the bench.
even though the bench mob is basically the 2 starters from now on, it was just Colin Murray Bowles and Jacoby Walter that were putting in the work, and Sandro Mamu as well. Um, but yeah, that's another guy, Sandro. We didn't really talk about him. How'd you feel about Sandro or Mamu, I guess?
He had some really bad, like, taking the ball up the court possessions where we just don't need him to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But overall, he was pretty
I
decent.
thought he was
He
pretty
played
positive.
aggressive.
He look
Played
he led us
aggressive. I
in
feel like he
in
should be shooting more though.
yeah. I mean, I get he took 8 shots, made 5, so pretty good field goal
Not like jump
percentage.
shots. Like he's driving to the rim a lot, which is
Yeah.
good, but we need some floor spacing, some shooting. If you're just gonna be driving in, kind of
Yeah.
removes the factor of you shooting.
He's gonna get exposed as a defender too. I hate to say it, but
Yeah,
like
no, I
Yeah,
mean,
he is.
look,
he
especially
can't be
on
on the floor for
defense,
that long.
they were targeting Pirtle and Mom, like our 2 bigs. They were just targeting him. So I mean, it's not really much we can really do in that like case because like bro, we already know we don't have good bigs. We can't really do much. But we just got to work with what we got. We got Colin Murray Boyles who can play the five, and then we got Scotty at the four. So I mean, I think Scotty's probably with Darko kind of phasing out Pirtle. I think Scotty's going to play a lot of minutes at the five. Him and Colin Murray Bowles, they might like rotate around, just have like a free flowing defense, which I mean it could work. But I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, in the Philly series, he did play the five, and he was pretty decent at the five.
Yeah. But yeah, man. That's the first two games. First playoff action for the Raptors in 4 years. Results in two losses. Two kind of the first one it was like I don't know. First one we just kind of knew we were gonna lose. Second one as well, kind of knew we were gonna lose. But second half we kind of had a little bit of a chance, but the Cavs were just making ridiculous shots. Another thing I want to kind of talk about towards the end of the episode is I know we don't want to point the fingers on this anyone but us, but the refereeing, bro. The refereeing wasn't great.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Even the first game,
Yeah, first two games pretty bad refereeing.
it's just not
Um,
great. I know it's the playoffs, and it might be harder to like
no,
call
but
things a certain way, but
it's not even about that because I don't know if you guys remember that James Harden push off on Scotty. That's
That
literally a
was
yeah,
foul, bro.
ridiculous.
Come
That was
on,
that was
bro.
so apparent too.
It's literally so clear, and like I don't care if it's a playoffs, regular season. That's a foul, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, clear
But
offensive foul, and that costed 3 points right there.
yeah, no, he scored off that too. So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Harden will get away with a lot of those, man.
yeah, no. But like again, like just to kind of before we end it off, this one's kind of a shorter episode as well. But before we end it off, like I just don't know what direction the team is really going in at this point because I don't know if winning games would be a good thing either. Because if we win games, the front office will think, "Hey, this is working. Let's keep going. Let's add more mediocre players to this lineup." You know what I mean? Yeah. And if we lose, it's just kind of more disappointment. So what do you guys really feel like the front office is thinking after a performance like this,
Yeah,
and
I
especially
think
after a series like this?
I think the front office is going to be complacent no matter what the hell happens.
Yeah.
We got the 19th
'Cause
pick in the draft this
Oh
year.
my
I saw
God.
that.
I don't even want to talk about like the whole. Cause I'm so disappointed with like the whole
Just mismanaged. This whole decade just been
yeah,
full of mismanagement.
drafting
Since the title
situation
came, yeah.
these past few seasons, and it's just been so bad, man. I it started with trading a
Pirtle.
pick for Young Hurdle,
Yeah.
and then that was literally a season where we were the 9 seed and we lost in the play-in. Like what
Yeah.
was the and then you have you know paying guys like Quickly, Pirtle, and even you might even have to scratch your head at the whole Ingram situation,
Yeah.
especially if it doesn't end up panning out because like
It looks like
I
it
don't
doesn't.
like yeah, I just feel like this team, like, and I know it's not the offseason yet, so I won't go too deep into this, but I just feel like trading for Ingram last season at the deadline, kind of going all in on like a guy you thought was going to be your first option, I feel like that was way too premature of a move by this front office. At the time, I loved it because it felt like the Raptors were trying to be competitive again, but like they just don't have the core to do it. They don't have the shooting to do it. They don't
Yeah.
have good big man situation going on, especially with the Pirtle contract. So, yeah, it's just tough. The young talent, I mean, we'll see if it develops, but I still don't feel like we have enough young talent as well. So,
I think before we even did all those moves for Pirtle and, paying quickly, I think it goes even further than that. Just like not knowing when to let go of players. That was like one of our biggest issues with Siakam, Fred Van Vliet. After that 2019 team, of course, Siakam and Van Vliet, you were going to keep them. They're the two kind of younger guys. But Lowry was getting up there in age too, so you got to plan ahead, which I just feel like we didn't do. We kept Fred for way too long, which also in turn kind of ruined Scotty's development as a player. Uh, and yeah, man, it's just like I don't know where we can go, but like I don't know. I don't know.
the only way we can go from here is game 3 of the playoffs.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But
You
yeah,
know what? When if we do get eliminated, we'll do an end of season thing,
yeah.
Yep.
and I think I'll have more positive things to say. But
Yeah, no, like bro, look, we just lost the game. That's kind of why we're
This is the
kind of down a
11th
little bit.
straight game we've lost to the Cavs. We haven't beat the Cavs in the playoffs since 2016, Game
Oh, in the
4.
playoffs.
And yeah,
2016 Game 4. I remember that. We were, to be fair, we were down 2-0 in the series too before going home.
Came
So
back, shit the
maybe,
bed.
yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm not even. I didn't even think about this. If we, and I'm not saying we are going to, but if we got swept in the series, that would be 3 straight sweeps by the Cavs over the Raptors.
And
But
fucking
bro,
10
look,
years.
the first two don't even count, man. Come on, bro. You got LeBron
I
James,
don't
bro.
know, man.
He's
I don't know, man.
single-handedly wielding that team to the finals, bro. Every year, you can't do anything about that, bro. That shot over on Anunoby, bro. What are we gonna do about that, man?
And now it's feeling like the same thing here, man. A
Yeah.
little bit. But the Cavs obviously way better team now than they were back then. And
Oh,
I think
100%.
honestly, I
100%.
I
think
don't know.
honestly,
I can't really agree with that. The Cavs last year won 64 games,
And they
and
won
we have
68,
like
bro. They won
no, I'm
68.
talking.
it was
No, I'm
64.
talking
The
about.
Thunder won
I'm
64.
talking about
Oh,
compared to
really?
those LeBron teams, man. Last year they were way better.
I mean, LeBron was on those teams.
But no, look, if we're gonna think about it, this in the playoffs, I think this is the best Cavs team that we've seen in the playoffs, simply because Garland has been hurt so many times in the playoffs. They've always faced so many injuries in the playoff time. Like this season, they're relatively healthy, so it's just, this is like
Well,
their
that's what I'm
full
saying.
strength
I mean,
team.
you got to give them their credit.
Yeah.
There's honestly like Mitchell was just there were a lot of shots where like you literally can't do anything. Like he's just
Yeah,
That
there were him
there
and
was a
Harden
there was a
were just
shot in the
making
first, bro. There
yeah,
was a shot in the first where Harden shot over like a turnaround three. He shot it
yeah.
over Shed and Scotty's hand in his face. Like you can't do anything about that, man.
and
Max
he made
Strus in
it.
game 1 was hitting everything as
Even
well. Like
today
Yeah,
he
it
was
was
fucking
hitting.
Magna Ball Struce
He hit
in
like
game
two
one.
two threes today. No.
Magna Ball, bro. That was a
Magnet
bad.
Strus. We're gonna start calling him Magnet
Yeah.
Strus.
No, look, Max Strus played 27 minutes. He hit two threes.
That's not bad.
Weird player, bro. Weird player for sure.
How do y'all
But
feel
But
yeah,
about how do y'all feel about the Cavs fans chanting "Raptors suck" at the
bro,
end
I'm
of the
not gonna
game?
dude,
lie.
I don't
That
care.
it doesn't matter,
Their
bro.
franchise
I,
literally
I, I
hasn't
just
done
wanted to
There,
anything
just
without
wanted to get that
LeBron.
one
look.
out the way.
See, like that would kind of make me annoyed if it was like the Knicks or the Celtics because their fans actually care about the team. Like the atmosphere in Cleveland, it has been so bad. Like you can't
They were
even
the
hear the
worst team
fans.
in the league for 3 straight years when LeBron left.
Yeah,
You can't even hear the fans in Cleveland on the TV from
Yeah,
what
they have
I've
no
seen at
atmosphere.
least.
Doesn't
No
even feel like
atmosphere.
nothing. No aura, nothing.
Yeah, nothing, bro. Like, and then if you look back to yesterday, you see that Spurs game where it was just like these guys are wearing their colored shirts,
Yeah,
oh
they're
man,
loud.
hype, bro.
Oh
that was an
my
eyesore,
god,
man. That was an eyesore.
That was a
that
great game.
was amazing to see. Especially like, bro, the Western Conference has so many nice fan bases.
Oh
You got
man,
Denver, Spurs, OKC, just great
OKC,
fan
great
bases, man.
fan.
I just don't know why they had like all those like they had like the complete different colors in like every
It was
section.
the city
That was
edition,
really
bro.
cool.
It was the
That
city
was really
edition thing.
cool.
I love the court. The court looks sick.
Yeah. But look, that's where we should probably end it off for this one. Just a post game reaction. We'll get this up as soon as possible. But yeah, no, we lost today. We can only hope that we win Game 3 and Game 4. Even one of them,
We'll be back.
honestly.
We'll be back.
We'll be back for
No, we need
sure.
to win both. We need to
Well,
win
yeah, we
both
need to
games.
win both, but are we gonna win
We
both? I
gotta
don't
win
think so,
both.
man.
We gotta win both.
Gotta
Yeah.
win both. You lose one, series is done.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
But yeah, no, it's been the North Chat. Hit that like button, hit subscribe as well. Leave a comment on what you think is gonna happen with the Raptors. What do you want to see change for Game 3 and 4, and what direction do you want to see the team going in the off season? Again, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you later.